Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Olga Griswold and I will be your sociolinguistics professor this semester. I hold a doctorate in applied linguistics, and in my research I specialize in discourse analysis and the linguistic skills of bilingual college writers. I have been teaching at Cal Poly since 2007. Sociolinguistics is one of my favorite classes to teach. Sociolinguistics is a subfield that studies language use in social context. We'll look into such issues as how do people use language to define themselves and their place in the world? How do people construct their social realities through language? How and why does language change? And so on. And because language is part of how we construct ourselves and our place in the world, it is very important what we call one another. You can call me Dr. Griswold or Professor Griswold, or Dr. G or Professor G, or just even Griswold. Do not ever call me Mrs. Griswold. As we dig deeper into the issues of language and gender in this course, you will understand why. And speaking of language and gender, our pronoun choices reflect deeply who we feel we are and where we place ourselves on the gender spectrum. My pronouns are she and her. I identify as cis straight female. There are multiple other identifications humans experience, and in this class, everyone deserves to be referred to by the pronouns they prefer. Now, since we won't meet face-to-face on campus, you won't have a chance to see me in person in class. Of course, we will likely meet on Zoom, and of course you are absolutely welcome to come to my consultation hours in person. But I will tell you what I'm like as much as I can online as well. First, I am a linguistics nerd. I read books on linguistics for fun, not only for my job. Do you know how exciting it is to explore what role language plays in legal proceedings? Or how interaction shapes second language acquisition? Or how English grammar changed over the centuries? It's absolutely awesome. But linguistic stuff is not the only stuff I read. I love history, and so I do love reading historical fiction and nonfiction and listening to history and literature podcasts. I subscribe to about 35 or 40. I also like to read horror, fantasy, and short stories as long as they're not too serious. I'm also a knitter. That is something I learned to do in 3rd grade, then stopped doing and picked up again during the pandemic, and I haven't put it down since. I'm not great at it, but I love it. It's my therapy. I also drink inordinately unhealthy amounts of coffee. Finally, I'm a total cat person. Not a cat lady. I only have one cat. But definitely a cat person. In our household, my husband will occasionally feed our cat and scoop her the litter, and my kids will pet and play with her, but I am definitely the servant-in-chief, who's responsible for providing all the services that Queen Socks desires. Let's now move on from my personality and likes and dislikes to the class issues. This class is going to be asynchronous, so time management is essential in it. You will have assignments due consistently on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I strongly advise that you use the calendar function on Canvas and do your work a bit in advance. Discussion board original posts will be due Tuesdays, responses to peers on Wednesdays, and quizzes on the week's material Thursdays. Second, group work. You will notice that you have a group project in this class. Some of you may have rejoiced, and others groaned in dismay when you read this in the syllabus. However you feel about group projects, there is a very good reason I use them in many of my classes, including this one. It's a real-world skill. In the workplace, you don't always get to choose people you work with on work-related projects, be they developing the 9th grade reading curriculum for the school where you teach, or writing a user manual in your technical role as a technical writer for an engineer in a manufacturing firm, or designing online HR training workshops for a large medical facility, or supervise a construction project as a civil engineer, or develop simulation software for an architectural firm. You need to know how to work well with others and get things done. Group work helps you develop strong communication skills and assertiveness. Break complex tasks into smaller, manageable ones. Delegate roles and responsibilities. Hold yourself and others accountable, and develop new approaches to resolving differences and solving problems. So, you will be working in groups in this class. I hope and aim for all of you to walk out of this class at the end of the semester with something new you have learned about yourself, about your community, and the world we all live in and construct through the use of language in everyday communication. So, let's begin our journey.